Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Spiral Society. What the fuck is going on with P Diddy? And how in the world is the CIA involved with this? Why are they involved with everything? Let's talk about it.
Where do we even fucking start?
I don't fucking know. Everything is fucked. Everything is fucked. Everything is related. Everything is connected. We are the ones that are out of the loop. Clearly, everybody is on one. Everybody knows. Everybody's in it. So,
Except us, the peasants. We know nothing.
the peasants.
At least
But
we're
we
trying,
try.
though.
Yes, we try.
See? Jinx, yep.
Thanks.
Yep.
Let's start with the CIA because I think that lays the groundwork for what we're going to talk about with P Diddy and what's going on right now in current events. So the theory is, now there are some facts tied in with this theory, but it hasn't been proven. So it's largely, I guess you could say, a conspiracy theory.
For the most part. Technically.
For the most part.
Kind of.
We'll separate fact from possible fiction here tonight. So the theory is that the CIA invented rap music.
Gangster rap
Specifically, to fill prisons. Why would the CIA care about filling prisons, and why would record executives and record labels care to help them? Well, here is where the facts come in. So private prisons. BlackRock and Vanguard hold a lot of stock in the two companies that own about 99% of the private prisons in the USA.
And they also own Universal Music Records.
More than that, BlackRock and Vanguard also hold stock in Warner Music Group, Sony Music Entertainment, and Universal Music Group.
To name a few.
Those three record labels make up 90% of the rap hip hop catalog of music that you have today, to date. So the story goes that in order to, they needed to keep these prisons full. So these record labels struck a deal with the CIA and the government that they would crank out gangster rap music, promote it, hype it up, get everyone interested in it. And through this music, they would promote violence. They would promote division. They would promote things that would cause people to go to jail. So that way everyone got a return on their investment by keeping these prisons full.
Shameless.
But like, where's the profits coming from? Is it just like money laundering on a bigger scheme? Because like prisons get a lot of money from the government. That's how all the funding, and that's how they're using it. Because like I've heard that too, and I had questions, and I'm just like trying to figure out the logical chain here.
So most of the prisons are filled up to more than 90% capacity, and they get about $90 per inmate per day.
They're contractually, to be clear, they're contractually obligated to maintain at least 90% capacity of inmates.
And then right there with what you're saying, where's the incentivation to, incentivation, is that a word?
Incentive
to keep people out of prison, to create programs to help, lower income communities to get better and not have the influence of this fucking gangster rap music. We already know that the CIA was the one to push crack into, lower income communities. So this makes total sense to me. So I don't consider it a conspiracy, being that there is proof that these people own the majority of the prisons, and they own, well, them in stock. And then they own all of the record labels. It makes complete sense, truly.
But then the record label execs also own stock in Vanguard and BlackRock. Everyone owns stock in everyone. So it's basically just a circle, a never-ending circle of people just passing money to each other.
Yeah.
And the pot just grows bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And we're talking the private prison industry, the music industry, we're talking hundreds of billions with a B dollars. We're talking lots and lots of money that these people are just cycling around to each other.
They don't care about people getting better, having an opportunity and better in their lives. That's why they don't invest in education. That's why they don't invest in programs to help lower income communities. This is their goal. Their goal is money, and the greed has always been their driving force. So once again, episode 6, we're still going back always to the CIA and the government being involved in this fuckery. And I hope that if we do anything is to open people's eyes to go do their own research, because things are there. It's just difficult to find. I obviously will link things on the comment section because there's just so much that people can look for themselves. It's abhorrent.
I mean, they passed the law not that long ago that forced CIA to actually disclose a lot of documents. And like, if you read those documents, if you just do that, like official fucking documents, that's gonna blow your mind. But the crazy part, not everyone knows about them. Like, we can talk about this for how long we want. People don't know those documents exist. They question them. They call it conspiracy. They call it us crazy for saying that. Those are legit, official, disclosed documents that CIA was forced to show to the public. But people are still refusing to like process it because it's easier for them not to think about those things.
It's true.
You can look up anything on CIA.gov. Well, I'm going to say not anything because they didn't declassify everything. They declassified a lot, but not everything. This is one of the things that if it is true, has not been declassified. You cannot find this information on CIA.gov, but there has been a former CIA agent did come forward and admit this to be true. His name is John Homeston, and John Homeston said that everything I just said is true. The record labels are doing deals with the CIA to keep people in prison through rap music. So he said it's true. He's a former CIA agent. Ice Cube, who is one of the earliest gangster rap musicians, he has said it's true.
Yep.
Tupac, Kanye West, a bunch of people have said it. And if you really look an outsider perspective, all of these people are not in the circle that you can see the others being in. And by the way, all of this information with who owns what in the prison system and the label record labels are under sec.gov under Edgar. It's very hard to find, but it is there. And I will link it on the comments because if people are curious, you don't have to believe us. We're just here to give you the information that we think that is necessary for you to know what kind of world you live in. Don't trust everything you hear and see, not even us. Do it yourself.
And it's available. It's right there in your face. It's just like the problem is that some people choose to, get pissed in a face and call it rain. But,
Yeah, it's true.
John Homeston, he did name Kanye West. He did name NWA, which was Ice Cube's group. Who else did he say? Dr. Dre, Jay-Z. Those were his specific ones that he named who were a part of this project from the beginning. And like you said, Kanye West has said it happened. Ice Cube has said it happened. And Ice Cube even said, like, he wasn't allowed to rap about anything except crime. He wasn't allowed to rap about anything. Nothing positive. Only things that would indoctrinate the mostly young people listening to these rap songs, thinking like, this is who I want to be. This is what I want to aspire to. This is what I want my life to be. I want to be out there on the streets, pimping, selling drugs, doing drive-by shootings and all this stuff. Like, that's what they wanted these children to be, so they would go to prison and make them all a lot of money.
Yeah, and based on what I read, because I have to be honest, I listened to a little bit of rap, but not a lot. And apparently this is what happened to Ed Set's Tentacion, that he tried to change his ways and sing a little bit more positive, and he was not allowed. Like, records are not being pushed if you're not singing the narrative that they want you to sing. And I have said this in previous episodes before. You are here not to be entertained, you're here to be programmed. These people, when they allow you to put this music and they allow you this level of fame, is because you're carrying out a program that they need the public to receive. And this technically proves it for me.
It just like, I'm gonna say this quickly because like it sounds like a very elaborate fucking scheme to pull though. Like I hear the concept, I understand the profit, but like it sounds like a lot of fucking work to put this all together. Like even though I understand it's very possible, but like since we still are taking it with a grain of salt, I'm gonna ask like the opposite questions just to figure out the whole thing.
Money, indoctrination. What is the best way for you to control masses? Through these people, no?
I don't think it's that elaborate, actually. If there's one parent company, we'll call them, they're investors, but for the sake of simplifying this, we'll call them the parent company. There's one parent company, and underneath that parent company are a whole bunch of other companies, the children companies, and some of those children are record labels, and some of those children are private prisons. It wouldn't be very hard for the parent to have a conversation with all their children and say, okay, we're going to do this together.
Yeah.
You're going to help your siblings, and this is how.
But think about it, Alec. How many people make it, really make it, including the women in the industry as well? Because I'm sure they have an agenda for them as well. Like all of this horrendous music that has come out in the recent years, Nicki Minaj, whatever, you name them. I don't know them. Really, I don't. With their WAP and their things and singing about these weird things, right?
Not the wet ass pussy.
Well, I mean, that's the one.
That song kind of slaps though, like you have to admit.
I'm not, of course, the beats are amazing. What I'm saying is if you really listen, I'm very much into lyrics. For example, Sabrina Claudio, I'm sure you guys don't even know who she is. She's an incredible singer. She's so freaking beautiful and she sings amazing. She's never going to make it. She's never going to make it because her songs are from the soul and the songs are beautiful and made out of lyrics that are worth something, but she's not pushing WAP. She's really not pushing WAP.
But you see, like the thing is like nowadays people are able to choose because there's so much shit on our plates. We have like a whole freaking big ass buffet like in Vegas, and we have a lot of different cuisines, and we can choose for ourselves what we want to just have as a product. People tend to choose stuff that's I personally don't for myself, but that's that's just how it is. People choose this shit. Is it pushed on them? Absolutely.
Yes.
It is.
And that's what the problem is. Yeah.
They get more exposure.
Can you actually choose something? Can you choose one thing over the other if you don't even know that the other thing exists? That's the problem. It's because the only choices, you think you have a wide range of options, but the only choices you're being presented are the ones that the record labels want you to see. And if the record label has some invisible entity sitting above them, who, for the sake of this conversation, we're saying might be the CIA, then you're only seeing what they want you to see. Your choices presented to you are only what they want to be presented. So your choices are limited.
Yeah, not everybody's gonna sit there. Like I purposely look for music that is meaningful to me. I like a lot of rap songs, a lot of them. I have a whole playlist, and that's all great and dandy. But in the bottom of me, I know that listening to songs singing about guns and drugs and trafficking and things like that are not good for my energy. That's my personal belief. So not everybody's gonna sit in this position and be like, okay, well, let me look for something a little better. What artists are there that are not being pushed? Not everybody's going to do that. People are going to follow the masses. People are going to follow to whatever is being pushed the most. Fucking P Diddy in 2022, he got at the BET Lifetime Achievement Award. After everything had been accused since 1991, this man has been having allegations of abuse, rape, fucking everything, including.
Let me tell you, because you just mentioned BET, and now this goes back again. I told you Vanguard and BlackRock are the biggest investors in both the record labels and the private prison system. Vanguard is also a huge investor in Viacom. Viacom owns MTV and BET.
Yeah.
It all is a circle.
Everything is it's in like in the family. Everybody has a hand in it. And this is the people that you actually see. I've always said it. These are the people you're going to see succeed. They're fulfilling their agenda, whatever the fuck that is. Now we know one is to keep people in prisons. For women, maybe make them, I don't know. I don't know what is going on, but the agenda is definitely there. You can see it with all of this crooked connections.
The scary part that like the fact that, you know, someone came out and pointed to the prisons and CIA and the rap music, it's just one of the branches of that big ass fucking tree. That's a scary part because like there's a lot of fucked up shit that's happening and we only are barely scratching the surface because like we just, you know, learned this part, but it, like you guys said earlier, it's all interconnected. So like God knows what other fucking scary shit secrets they're hiding. And like, hey, we've known about Epstein now, so
well, trafficking. P Diddy is being accused of trafficking right now as we speak. How do we know that the indoctrination of women don't come from this music to make them a little more, I don't know, to dress in a certain way? I've seen little girls dress very inappropriately and they love Nicki Minaj. They love fucking, what's her name? I kind of love her. Cardi B. Yeah. It's inappropriate. It's completely inappropriate. I am never going to forget an episode of Ellen. I used to love Ellen and it broke my heart to come to the realization she's also one of them. One episode of Ellen where she had the little two sisters she always like exploited. There were two little sisters from England and they were maybe 6 and 7 or 6 and 8. And they were infatuated with Nicki Minaj and she took them to like concerts and made them sing their songs that were highly inappropriate. So you're seeing these connections between the kids, the negative feminine energy that you're receiving, the prison system and the gangster rap. Like, I don't know, for me, seems very clear. I could be wrong.
There's an aspect that like, I kind of, you know, let's circle back 20 years ago. So like the things that like a generation of our parents and grandparents were deeming as inappropriate, it's like a normality right now. Because remember, like Christina, Britney, all of that stuff was super sexual, super inappropriate. And now, 20 years later, the shit reached a new extreme. So like, are we just being old and like not seeing this as like new generation normality? Because, you know, that's what our parents felt 20 years ago. And we're just like behind the evolution of this fucked up shit. Like, what's the deal here?
I ask myself this question all the time.
Right?
I actually don't know because I've always felt that Slave by Britney Spears, which is fucking the whole thing, is like all of the titles of her songs is like giving, did they plan this? Because it's weird. But that song Slave has always been inappropriate, even in my eyes. Even in my eyes, the video, the content of the song. So it's gotten to new levels because they're always pushing the narrative a little bit more and they are less, they're not hiding anymore like they used to before. Like if you go back to the 80s, they had weird fucking songs in the 80s, in the 70s, in the 60s, in the 50s. But now I feel like it's more in your face and they are not hiding from what they're trying to do anymore. Truly.
I think it's become more mainstream. I'll say that because even if you think about gangster rap is not really a popular genre anymore. Not as much as it was in the late 80s, early 90s when it first, you know, came about. But now you're hearing the same sort of lyrics, but they feel softer, they feel gentler because they're put to more upbeat pop type music. Like when you want to talk about Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. We're not talking gangster rap anymore. We're talking mainstream pop music. Yeah. So it's reaching a younger crowd. I will say that because I think your gangster rap was more popular amongst maybe like 15 and up.
Yeah.
And now the pop stars with the same lyrics, but sounds a little bit sweeter and a little bit more, oh, hi, happy, even though it's not. Those are reaching 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds.
Yeah.
No, you see, like
I
also
mean,
another thing that I'm gonna disagree that it's in your more in your face now than it used to be. Just because it's way easier to spread information right now and expose whatever you want to say than it was back in the day. Back in the day, if I would
it's
like
true.
walk into like I don't know during the 80s into like some fucking weird sex cult shit, what I would go like to a newspaper and write about it in a newspaper, like no one would
Yeah.
fucking let
Yeah.
me. What
Yeah,
would I
it's
send a
true.
fucking pigeon with letters to my friends across the country? No, now I can fucking go on TikTok and be like, yo, the wild
It's
shit I just
true.
saw. And it's gonna go viral. So it's easier to spread information nowadays. So, and people, people probably were catching their shit back in the day too, but they just were not able to express and share their findings, and now it's just
It
like
is true.
as easy as it is.
Yeah, well, there is a bunch of old songs. We haven't really done any research on this, but I have always seen like old songs that refer to like little girls and including
Oh
like
yeah.
Elvis and all of it's just fucking weird. I don't know. I just find it so disgusting. And the fact that the government is involved in this is even more discouraging. Truly.
I
Well,
mean, are we surprised?
exactly.
No, no.
There's
How
no
about
way it would still be going if the government wasn't involved. If government wasn't interested in this aspect of, social part of humanity, they would have stopped that shit quick.
yeah.
Well, that's what Ice Cube called it. He referred to it as a psy-op. And John Homeston, the CIA agent, he said that the CIA worked with psychologists to figure out like what was the best way to go about this. And it was the psychologists who really crafted NWA and Jay-Z and Kanye West and all of these famous rap artists that you think of. It was like these psychologists in conjunction with the CIA who came up with their personalities, who came up with their lyrics, who came up with what their angle was going to be and what was the best way to really uh attract and gain the attention of the youth.
Indoctrinate.
Yes, and indoctrinate the youth who they wanted to eventually end up in prison. As fucked
Yeah.
up as that sounds, that's what this former CIA agent said. And I don't know why this former CIA agent would just say this out of nowhere for no reason. And I don't know why Ice Cube, who is one of the founding fathers of gangster rap, NWA is, they're one of the OGs. I don't know why he would say this for no reason. It doesn't
I
make sense
think
to
there
me.
is a reason. I think
No,
there
Yeah.
is
there's
a
definitely a
reason
reason.
because they're
Yeah.
having a lot of blocks for the people like this to stand up against it. Because when he started, he might not even have realized that he'd been pushed in this direction. You understand? Like I feel like a lot of people when they enter Hollywood and they enter the scene, they're not aware of what they're getting into. So Ice Cube is having a hard time right now because he said it in the Bill Maher interview.
Mhm.
It's hard for them to even have support anymore because they're not following the narrative that they're wanting to push. And it has to be incredibly frustrating to be Ice Cube, that you are so well known worldwide and you can't even have a project because they won't let you, they won't approve, they won't do this, they won't do that. So at one point you hit this block and you break. Like you have to talk about it, you have to expose it. And I'm just glad that more people are talking about it because when Kanye said it, everybody was like, well, he's crazy. Or when this one brings it, it's a conspiracy, but when you have a lot of people, Cat Williams, Wendy Williams talked about it too, very briefly. I will
She did.
have to find this.
Good.
Well,
Yeah.
Wendy did it like back in the day. Wendy actually like lost a lot of shit because she was started like exposing a lot of shady shit back in the day, and then she lost her show
Look at her
because of
now.
that.
Look at her
Exactly.
now.
Well,
I'm
Yeah.
that's
sorry.
yeah.
I'm sorry, but I don't buy it. So now, I mean, we have no choice but to look into it because you can call it whatever you want, but until you don't do the research yourself and you see it with your own eyes, you can't deem this a conspiracy or a lie. Ice Cube doesn't win anything by exposing this shit. All the opposite. Same thing with Cat Williams. These people talk, and I'm here for it.
So
Yeah.
then my question is, if the whole system is so fucked up, why are some being exposed? Like we have Harvey Weinstein going down, R. Kelly, and now P Diddy. But like refuse to believe it's just those three people. It has to be more. So why P Diddy right now is being exposed? Why
I have
not
an answer.
everyone? Go for it.
Okay, so back in the 97 2000s, We had a friend that was being a mule he got into the bad crowd, and he was a mule. And he was transporting drugs from one country to the other. And at one point he got caught. He was caught on purpose. He was given by the cartel to be caught, so the government would have this finding of like, oh, we caught someone and he had 30 pounds of whatever, coke in his stomach. But the rest of the 10 people that were traveling with him, they passed.
Right.
They sacrificed this one person.
Use the distraction.
Yeah.
Use the distraction. Okay, we're doing something about it. The trafficking with Epstein, it ends there. With the trafficking with P Diddy, it ends there. They're giving these 2 people away. So you're like, okay, well, everything is being done. Everything is being fixed. Clearly, you dummy. That's my reasoning on this, because I can't seem to, it's obvious what Alec is saying. Obviously, these are the tip of the icebergs for everything, but they're disposable. They are disposable.
When it comes to P Diddy, what actually has been fixed? Like, I know, actually, I was about to say that we're relatively early in this investigation, but we're actually not, because he's been being accused of shit like this since fucking 1991. His career started in 1990, and then in 1991, he's already getting accused of things like this. And it went on throughout his entire career. The list is very long of all the accusations made against him by men, women, and children. Okay?
Yeah. And today, by recording day, he's still free. So
yes, he's on vacation.
Yep.
He's on vacation. He
after getting his 2 houses raided on vacation.
He's on vacation. He occasionally goes on TikTok live. He's making little funny videos here and there. Like, everything's, peachy keen, and just life's a grand old time. What's actually going on?
Listen, Candace Owens was also talking about the Pentagon funding Hollywood for movies that we're going to get there in a minute. She had a theory that they're raiding P. Diddy's house to filter what the findings are going to be. So the same thing that they're doing with Epstein, protecting the wealthy and powerful that were involved there. And she fears that they're doing the same thing with P. Diddy, because they did all of these fucking raids, all of these findings. They had cameras in the shower heads in the bathrooms.
Every single room.
Yeah.
Every single room, shower heads in the bathroom. That's already illegal there.
Closets.
Just that one thing. And he's still free. So she's speculating that, obviously this is alleged, but they might be just going through it and seeing, okay, who's disposable, who's not, who do we have to protect and who doesn't. And it's just so disgusting. It's been how long? 2 years since the Epstein? 2 years?
We'll never see that list.
Feels like forever.
We will never see. I know that people have come up with lists. It's debatable whether or not those are the actual lists.
Yeah.
We will never, from our own government, from the people who are supposed to protect us, we will never see a list of names and that says these are the bad guys ever.
Bill Clinton. That's one for sure.
Because all of them are in there. That's the whole
exactly.
You can tell me bad party, good party. Don't give a shit. All of them are in there. Some less, some more, but they're all in there. That's why they're protecting each other. That's why it's all fucked up on that major level. And even though it fucking pains me to agree with Candace Owens, but like, I hear that they probably raided the house to like get the records and have the database themselves so they can filter what they want it to be leaked.
If they're all in there, and we're talking about majority of the people who we speculate is on that list are like government officials and things like that. So if they're all on that list, and our government officials are in bed with the entertainment industry, I can only imagine who's on P. Diddy's list. That's why we will never know. And they will go to great lengths to hide these things, because they're all working with each other.
Yeah.
And we got just a few names so far. Let's take it back to like Harvey Weinstein. Then what? R. Kelly was next. Then now it's P. Diddy. It's been 3 names in a span of like what? 6 years now?
Well, the big ones. There's other ones, but yeah.
But like, I'm sure if you wanted to, you could have taken down any of them when it comes to any big name, regardless of like, is it Hollywood, politics, whatever field of fucking our lives. I'm sure if you wanted to take one down, you would be able to.
Absolutely.
I have a name here that I gathered from one of the research that I was doing, Fahim Mohammed. He was the head of security of P Diddy. And apparently he had a gift of making people disappear. But the important part is that he had ties with the LAPD. This brought me back to Britney. This brought me back to anybody seeking for help. This brought me back to Justin Bieber singing, "What if you had it all when nobody to call?" Because who the fuck are you going to call? If anybody's in it, who you're going to let know that you're being abused, that you're being, doing all of these things. P. Diddy spent 48 hours alone with Justin Bieber when he was between 14 and 15 years old in his home. What is happening? He did it with Usher.
Fucked up by default.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, parents, you're fucking up. That's number one forever in my book. You're fucking up.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are you letting your kid go there? I get it. You're blinded by the money. Dumbass. Dumbass.
That should be punishable. Honestly, like, that's a responsibility of a parent to protect your child until they're 18. If you're letting your fucking minor children go to an adult alone for a certain amount of hours, you should go
With
to
slumber parties?
prison.
Yeah.
Nope.
I'm not justifying anybody getting a hold of a child to do this because of the irresponsibility of the parents, but parents have a lot of weight on this.
Yep.
And that's just indisputable. Now, Rodney Jones also said that in all of these parties, they used to spike the drinks, and men knew where to drink and where not to drink. And then they even got smarter. You know what they would do for people like me that don't drink? They would spike
cranberry
the juice.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought of that. You fucking evil genius. They spike the juice because women would be paying attention, right? If you already know, paying attention that the bottle is being popped right there in front of you, you're not going to pay attention to anything else, and they're mixing it and they're getting roofied or they're getting whatever drugs they're being given. I don't know. I don't want to speculate, but you can't tell me that everybody that went to these parties watched this behavior, saw what was going on. They used to call them the freak-offs. What were you doing? What were you doing? I'm sorry. One last thing, and you guys can take it here. Ashton Kutcher.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's giving me the worst vibes right now. How come he's involved around everybody that is having issues?
Always. Why is he like, dude, just
he's
stay
the saint.
fuck out of it.
He's the saint. And then he had that little organization. I don't remember the name on the top of my head, for like saving the children and sexual abuse or whatever. It's fucking giving deflecting.
Weren't they caught, like Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher, weren't they like caught in like big shit recently, not that long ago, of defending some fucked up individual? Why can I not remember now?
Danny Masterson?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
They were character witnesses for him, and they basically made a whole statement talking about how wonderful and great he is.
Is he? Is he?
I'm sorry. There's a saying in Spanish, I don't know how it will be in English, but it's like, tell me who you're hanging out with and I'll tell you who you are. And that makes a lot of sense, because you're not going to be hanging out with pedophiles and be okay with it. So you either are part of it, or are you dumb?
Tell me who your friend is and I'll tell you who you are. Kind of.
Yes, something like that. Yes.
Birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah, exactly. So he can't convince me. It gets sketchier and sketchier for him. I don't know what he's gonna say. I mean, they became friends when P. Diddy had that show on MTV, Making the Band. I think.
Making the Band. Mm-hmm.
Making the Band, and then Ashton had Punk'd, and they became friends, and he was out at his parties, and they will hang out together. They will do sports together. Bitch, you knew.
If I was Ashton Kutcher, I would lay so low, because it really is becoming a pattern now, because he's always just got to like insert himself and stand up for these people who definitely don't like deserve any defense. And it's like, dude, how come every time someone is out here fucking diddling children, you're right there like, oh, yeah, I know him. That's my friend.
I didn't know. I'm sure he's a great person.
Like,
Shut
shut
up,
the fuck up,
Ashton.
Ashton Kutcher. Thanks.
Yes.
But that just proves once again, like, and Adriana, you and I had priorly like a discussion about this, that like you cannot trust anyone in fucking Hollywood, just like System of a Down said in their songs. Don't fucking trust Hollywood. And that's why I cannot trust anyone in Hollywood. Like, yeah, even though like some of them, sadly, unfortunately, could start as victims, the way the system is set up, in my
I'll
opinion,
fight you.
makes them evolve into fucking fucked up individuals that, you know, from being a victim turn into being, you know, the bad guys. That's
Yeah,
just
but
how the
not
system
always the
works.
case, because that involves like what I'm saying about Justin Bieber. God damn it, this guy has been trying his hardest. He's battling demons, which probably is the same thing that is happening to Britney, and the same thing that is happening to Amanda Bynes, and the same thing that is happening to a bunch of fucking people that either they kill themselves or get unalived. Unalived. Oh, TikTok times.
You don't have to say
Yeah.
unalived.
Yeah.
They get murdered. But Justin Bieber for me is going to be one of the prime examples, because Usher can come here and defend all the fuck he wants. But Justin Bieber has been trying to expose his shit forever with the Yummy video. He's been having breakdowns. He has been seeking God. And I know that we don't, but you don't know the darkness that people have been, that are pushed so fucking against the wall in this darkness that they've lived. And look at him now. Like this man struggles. There's tons of clips, tons of video of Justin Bieber being harassed by women and men in Hollywood. It is so fucking despicable.
You smell amazing. How old are you?
Thank you.
How old are you?
I'm 16.
We have to be naked on stage during one full song, or drink a cup of blended worms.
Only 48 hours. Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives. Like
He was a
But he
child.
still chooses to continue profiting from this fucked up industry that he's trying to expose so much.
They have
He's still-
contracts. He's canceled so many tours for exhaustion, for this, for that. He doesn't want to do it. And now
Does
he's with
he
fucking
though
Lou Taylor.
continue, Alec? I haven't seen him in the limelight in a while.
They have contracts.
He
They
Like,
have
I see him in like
benefits-
paparazzi things, but not.
But he still
performing.
benefits financially. Like, he still releases new music and he still makes money for this industry. And
Yeah,
I
but-
understand it's not that easy just to like cut it cold turkey and just be like, okay, I'm done. Bye. Bye. I'm gonna move to Vermont and fucking live in the middle of nowhere. I get it. It's not that easy, most likely, for them. But it's just like, I don't know. I'm conflicted when it comes to like people who are
But
trying to expose it.
I want to point something out to your point, because you're right. Okay, you can say that he's profiting, but he's not profiting in the way that Taylor Swift is profiting. You listen to her lyrics and her visual things, it's all icky. Have you heard Justin Bieber's latest 2 albums? I'm sure not.
No.
They're all
I heard
super
Lonely.
sweet and super nice. My God, that song is just heartbreaking.
I haven't heard a
actually
single Justin Bieber
This,
album. So.
this man doesn't cuss in his songs. He doesn't have any negativity on his songs. He is a musician. He is a musician. He was playing the drums when he was 3 years old. So you have to make a decision in between putting out an album that you speak of your heart and God and your faith, or walk away because they're abusive people, instead of having possibly the expectation of them fucking getting caught like it's happening now. I don't know. I think it's difficult because for us, that's their expression. That's their artistry. Like, it's gotta be hard. That is his outlet.
But there are so many people who like live in this same way. They just choose to stay away from fame. I'm not saying it's Justin's case, because like he was literally groomed in this industry as a child, because he was discovered on YouTube, he blew up, and then he got literally groomed into this person who he is right now. So probably he's trying to fight it. But I'm sure if he decides to like leave it, it's not going to be easy, but it's probably possible. But like, it's probably not that easy to make the decision to lose it all. Like, even didn't he say that in his fucking song? Or like, you know, lose it all and then just live your life. But it's hard to lose it all when
It's
you already
okay
been
because now
exposed to
Lou
this.
Taylor is there. So he's even more fucked.
You're making a lot of connections in my brain, and there's things that should be talked about. You just said Lou Taylor, and that made me think of Robin Greenhill. And Robin
Oh, yeah.
Greenhill, Lou Taylor's little
Minion.
Lou Taylor's little minion, who was
weird lackey, like Britney said in her book.
Britney Spears called her Lou's weird lackey. She was responsible. She was the one who was traumatizing Britney Spears and constantly watching over her. But she was also named in one of the P Diddy lawsuits, the Rodney Jones lawsuit.
Yeah.
You also mentioned Taylor Swift. So Taylor Swift's BFF is Lucian Grange, who is the CEO of Universal Music Group.
Yeah.
He is also named in Rodney Jones's lawsuit. Because Rodney Jones said Lucian Grange knew exactly what P. Diddy was doing, and not only did he know, he helped him. Now, Lucian Grange denies these claims completely, but Rodney Jones named both him and Robin Greenhill in his lawsuit.
You can't be part of these parties and this industry and be so close to Diddy and not know. You can't. There's no way. And by the way, fun fact, that Lucian Grange guy, whatever his name is, his son is married to Sophia Richie, if I'm not mistaken. And Sophia Richie is very close to the Kardashians, and the Kardashians to Hailey, and Hailey to Justin. So are you trapped? What's going on? For me, I do feel very, very sad for him. I actually get very triggered when I see TikToks or videos where they're saying that he is one of the pedophiles, when in actuality, there's so much proof that he's being abused.
That Justin Bieber is?
Yes. I've been wanting to make a video forever, but I really don't have the energy. It's just exhausting, but it's just so bad.
I mean, you see, the more we talk, guys, the more connections we find, the more connections we discover. And that just is so fucking telling, that all the fucked up shit that happened to many different celebrities, and there's many people that were involved in other shit. And it's just like, that's the Hollywood for you. And that's the fucked up part.
It makes you think, because Lou Taylor, CEO of TriStar Entertainment, okay, you're supposed to be a media talent agency. But then Lou Taylor's direct report, Robin Greenhill, is a big part of Britney Spears' conservatorship. She's the one who has to control every minute of Britney Spears' day. And that's how we knew her for a long time when we were following Britney Spears. And now she comes up in this P. Diddy lawsuit, and she's accused of helping P. Diddy traffic women and children.
Yeah.
Because she was allegedly an accountant who was physically making payments to people for those services.
Yeah.
But it makes you wonder then, if that's what she's capable of, and this is all alleged, nothing has been proven in a court of law. No one has been convicted of anything. But if she's capable of doing something like that, what was actually going on with Britney Spears? And it just makes you wonder how all of this is connected, and what the fuck is actually going on in Hollywood. Can we please just be so for real for a minute? Because as things slowly but surely start to come to light, we're all starting to see the stage for what it is.
Yeah, truly. I've always had this way of thinking. I do think that, and this is obviously just speculation, but I do feel like Britney was trafficked. I have very little doubts in my mind. When she spoke in court and she used those words, like, I felt like I was being sex trafficked. That's not coincidence. That's just not, you don't just say that.
Yeah.
You don't just say that. What feeling do you have that will lead you to say this if it's not this? So, and to know that this is just, this little bit of information that we know nothing. This is just the little bits that have gotten out of hand. This is the little bits that are exposed, and these are the little bits of the sacrifice of P. Diddy, the sacrifice of Epstein, So
I feel like it's all fake. I feel like they haven't even sacrificed him. He's on fucking vacation, like we said earlier.
Well,
like,
his character has been assassinated. His character has been assassinated regardless. I hope.
I'm sure he's crying into his billions of dollars
while
he's on vacation.
Yeah, there's no way he can get out. There's no way he can get out of this easily. No fucking way.
So.
Like, he has his billions right now, but like, there's no way he'll be able to get out of this. I like, same happened to R. Kelly. People are like, oh yeah, like R. Kelly will be fine. Harvey Epstein he'll be fine. Not fuck Harvey
Epstein.
Weinstein. Jesus Christ, I'm so bad.
Birds of a feather.
I know,
Yeah,
but you
yeah,
see, still,
totally.
once again, same point. Everybody
Easy
will think,
mistake.
no, those people have money. None of them will go to prison. But like, yet here they are. So same goes to P Diddy. Like at this point, I think he's fucked.
Maybe they're gonna kill him in jail as well,
Well,
like they did Epstein. But in any case, I think that it's just very telling, guys. I mean, there was a party before the raid, and you could already see that people were ignoring P Diddy completely. Like he was sitting there, he's just like that, and everybody's not even saying hi to him. They knew this was coming. So I'm here for it. I hope they all fall. And even if it's just the tip of the iceberg, I think it will lead us into more conversations and digging deeper. And doing the research that we need to do, because we might feel like small voices and that we don't have a lot of power, but we do. I mean, I think that we all have educated a lot of people with our videos and in our theories, because you can call them conspiracy theories all the fuck you want, but they have almost all of them turned out to be true, except the moon landing. Fuck those people.
Still waiting to verify that. But yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
You see, like, I hear you being positive and hoping that, it's all going to collapse soon, but this scenario's been unfolding before. Like, once again, we've seen the same story happening with R. Kelly, same story happening with Harvey Weinstein. And what? Did the whole system collapse? Hell no. Do you think the whole system's going to collapse after P. Diddy? Hell no. It's going to continue. And that's just
Yeah,
the
but think
sad
about
truth
it.
of this.
Same thing with Nickelodeon, if you want to go there. Like, kids grow up, people get fed up, their trauma overcomes. They reach a point in their healing journey where they're like, fuck this. What if Justin Bieber comes out and says, you know what, I'm going to speak against this shit? I mean, you can't expect the same thing from Ashton, of course.
I doubt he will. Like, he knows, like, to my understanding, that if he speaks up, it's going to come at a huge fucking cost. And he cannot probably sacrifice that. He will have to sacrifice his entire fucking life to expose this. And there's ways that Hollywood makes sure that there's no way people going to do it. So it's not that easy.
You guys don't think he's being controlled right now, being the Lewis in his life now?
Everybody's controlling Hollywood to a certain
I don't
degree.
know much about him to be able to talk about it, but he spent a little bit of time in my neck of the woods at some weird like cult church thing, and then that's the last I really followed his story. After that, he just kind of like, once he went back to LA, back to Hollywood, he just kind of laid low, and I don't know much about him or his story, to be honest.
Well, I guess we just have to wait and see. Do you guys want to talk
some people say his wife is a handler.
I know, I've heard that so many times. I mean, who
knows? I
knows?
don't think she's capable. I'm so sorry. I don't think she's capable to like fold a t-shirt. She I don't know. I think people give her too much credit. Even obviously she's coming from the Baldwin family, so there could be more dark shit behind it, but just like based on, how she is presenting herself in the media, I don't think she can, function much.
I don't know about her. I really don't know what to believe. I find her sincere.
She does look like Putin, though.
I
like what? Oh, Putin?
Vladimir Putin, yeah.
Like, I thought you said pudding. I'm like, she doesn't look like.
I think she's
beautiful.
Fine.
If you compare like a picture of young Vladimir Putin next to Hailey Bieber, it's very, very close.
I think she is very beautiful. I find her sincere. What I don't like is her connections. It's her connection. Ay, can he like Vladimir Putin?
No, yeah. I think Hailey is pretty. We'll have the pictures here so people can judge, but go ahead, Adriana.
I was just saying I find her sincere, but my problem is her connections. My problems is her friendships. And like we're talking shit about Ashton, you can tell me that you're friends with the Kardashians and with all of these weird people, and you don't have a weird fucking intention and agenda. So I don't know where I stand with Hailey.
Born into this.
Are the Ball twins problematic? I know they're nuts, but are they problematic?
I don't know if they're problematic. I do know, and I told you this.
How about one of them killing a fucking person recently? Like,
whoa. That was proven
I don't think that
it wasn't his fault
at all.
The girl already got indicted, and she is paying for what she did because she was in control of those weapons. And
How
she
was
put
that
fucking bullet there.
How is that his fault? He's not in control of the props. That's someone else's jobs entirely.
I hear ya.
He's an actor, a very famous one. You think he's sitting there going through the props and picking them out and doing all that shit? That's a whole fucking department's job.
Yes, I hear ya. But the whole story is fucking wild. The whole
is
story is
wild.
fucking wild.
The whole story is
It is.
wild, and it's incredibly sad and tragic. And I truly feel for, that woman and her family and everything. But I think he caught a lot of heat for something that he had zero control over.
Yeah. And I tried to find the connection to see if she was wanting to be removed. But I really couldn't find any. So you know what I'm talking about? Like removed, talking too much, knowing too much,
Oh,
exposing something. I don't know.
Gotcha.
All I know about the Baldwins is that Haley's father, he is a Christian freak. Like he loves his Jesus. He loves him. He Bible thumps harder than anyone I've ever seen in Hollywood. But he has been posting a lot of cryptic messages towards what I interpret as Hollywood, right on the rise of this happening to P Diddy. And then after, and I regret so much not taking a screen recording of this one, because when the day after, I think that I wrote UT, that he was arrested, or the day before he was going to be arrested, he posted something so telling, and he was just saying something like, everything is falling, you can't keep any secrets, trust whatever rants he
This
goes
is
on.
Stephen Baldwin, right? Stephen, I think it is Baldwin.
I think it's Stephen. I don't know. It's Haley's
There's quite a
father.
few of them, yeah.
There is a lot of Baldwins.
It is
Yeah.
it is the father, Haley's father, but people assume that he's just crazy and a nut, and he might be crazy and a nut,
is.
but yeah, that's completely fine. But that doesn't mean that he's not really trying to say something that he can fully talk about. Like you can convince me of this. I'm gonna try to find a clip to put here, but
all kinds of competition, war, and gamesmanship usually includes some kind of deception.
it's very telling for me.
Well, you could be a nut job and still be, insightful.
Still no shit.
And
Yeah,
no
exactly.
shit.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure. But like, yeah,
No.
guys, that's, we got sidetracked to Baldwin's, but the point is that Haley was born into Hollywood. So the fact that Justin and her got married was really, obvious, but it could have some dark shit behind it. Who the fuck knows?
Well,
I
the
just
whole
don't think
meeting
she's
of
able
them
to.
was very bizarre. I have heard stories about how they met, and if I recall correctly, I don't remember if it was Alec Baldwin or Stephen Baldwin.
I think it was Alec.
I think it was Alec, yeah.
Her uncle.
Yep.
Alec is her uncle. Basically, like,
Pimped
every
her out.
opportunity he got, like,
Yeah.
would put her and Justin Bieber in the same room together, and he basically like forced his niece onto Justin.
I would have to defend that as, if you see that your daughter or your niece is a huge fan of this pop star and you are in the industry, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I can to set my kid up and like try to make them even be friends. In fact, they were friends for many years before they got into a relationship. And that's just really besides the point for me. Like, I don't know what her intentions are now. Again, like I said, I do find her sincere. It's her company that I don't like. And that always tells me something, like who you hang out with, who you're friends with, who your loyalty is towards.
I see
That's just
zero
giving red
chemistry.
flags.
When it comes to Justin and Haley, I see zero chemistry, same chemistry, lack of chemistry that I saw was Britney Spears and Sam.
Oh my God, you're
see the
reaching
same
so
thing.
fucking much. Did you stretch this morning?
Yes, I did plenty. But I've been watching like a lot of like videos and interactions. The way that Justin and Haley have the chemistry, I don't see it personally, and it's my opinion. If I know you have a weird crush on him. That's why you probably like trying to fight me.
him.
But they have no
I'll fight
chemistry.
you.
In my opinion, Haley has no personality. She's like a wet rag to me. Once again, my opinion. I don't see.
How
Zero.
hateful are you?
A pretty wet rag that looks like Vladimir Putin.
I think that despite Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber had tons of chemistry. It's a
She's
different
a
story.
fucking crazy psycho bitch. She was a manipulative
I'm not talking if she's crazy or not.
narcissist.
I'm saying if they had chemistry or not. That's
No
you see
fucking
like two different
chemistry.
things.
No chemistry.
You can have chemistry with a crazy person.
Didn't they buy crack on like Skid Row together? That's chemistry.
I think so. Yeah, that is chemistry.
Yeah,
Fucking
exactly.
Breaking Bad.
I'm not saying she's a good person or not. I'm saying there's chemistry. When I see Justin and Haley together, it's just like, I don't know.
Now this has become a fucking Justin Bieber episode. I have to make something clear, just so you guys give this a thought. Justin and Selena started dating when they were teenagers. Any teenage love feels like this unique, passionate. First loves are incredible, correct? When he breaks up and he has a breakdown, he had a horrible breakdown. He was seeking help. He was into drugs. He was fucking his life was a mess. When he gets into with Haley, they're adults now. It's a different story. He's broken as fuck. So I don't know where you're not seeing the chemistry. I've always seen them very much in love. You think that it's because I have a crush on him? I mean,
I need to. I'm doing rabbit keeper here because I actually have a question that pertains to this, and I need probably you, Adriana, to answer it because I don't know the answer to this question. So both, it's speculated that, you know, something bad happened between P Diddy and Justin Bieber. Kanye West has said P Diddy is a bad person. Now, I know there was a moment in time where I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Justin Bieber wanted to talk to Kanye West about something, but that conversation never happened. And Kanye West, when he was talking about P Diddy, he said something like, "Oh, is that why that kid wanted to talk to me?" or something like that. What connect those dots for me? I don't know.
I don't know fully. I do know that they were kept away. I know that even if he tried, Justin, to say something, he would be stopped. And on Kanye's end, anytime somebody was trying to talk to him or have a conversation or try to expose something, there was the issue with his trainer that I think I mentioned this before to you. He was, I think, don't quote me on this, it will be corrected here somehow. I think he was a former CIA agent or intelligence or something like this. And now he's like a trainer, like a lift, whatever,
celebrity,
exercise, celebrity trainer, whatever. And there's a list of text messages that he was sending Kanye saying that if you don't shut up or you don't keep it in line or you don't get control, I'm gonna, I can give you a pill that is going to make you not ever be playing with your kids again. Like a lot of threats, a lot of things. So there is a possibility they were trying to keep Kanye, which was as crazy as much as you don't like him. He is one of the most outspoken people about this fuckery. And
I can't stand Kanye West.
I know you can't. I know you can't.
That's
But
a
there
separate
has
episode,
to
guys.
be.
Yeah.
It's a separate episode because for this one, you have to learn how to separate that hatred for him and his narcissism and whatever egocentric person he is.
I'm trying. I didn't bring up my hatred for Kanye West. You did.
No,
so.
it's because I know that it seems crazy, but he's been silenced so many times. So who do you run to? If you have information that you want to talk, who better to tell this shit to Kanye that has the balls to come out and tell you to your face? Like,
but does anyone know for a fact what Justin Bieber wanted to talk to Kanye about?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone just knows there was some sort of, I guess, urgent matter.
I need to talk to you.
Yeah.
I need to talk to you. Why that never happened? That's just up for speculation because we would never know.
Unless it did and it was just buried.
Kanye West, if you're out there listening to Spiral Society, Justin Bieber would like to talk to you. Don't you think now's a good time? I think so.
I like you, Kanye, so don't listen to her too much. It's okay. I'm trying to tame her.
Well, I guess on that note, we're going to say to all of you, thank you so much for spiraling with us today. And we will be back here next week and we'll spiral on another subject. What do you guys think? Are we going to?
I think it's good. Maybe next episode I'm gonna have time to talk shit about Beyonce's fake belly and baby.
Opening a new can of worms here.
I'll talk shit about Kanye. We're gonna need more than an hour though.
Okay, good. Sweet.
Okay, guys. So tag along. We'll be here next time. And
Same
thank you all
time
for
next
being
week.
here.
See ya.
See y'all, guys. Bye.
Bye.